There is this little event this upcoming Thursday here. You may have heard of it. It's called the NFL Draft. So I decide, in my infinite wisdom, I'm gonna do well, not do. I'm gonna react to a little bit of a mock draft here. So I don't really like the publication mock drafts just because I just don't really like media heads. So I kind of just like the old tankathon mock draft. So we're gonna kind of just go through it, and obviously this is based probably on some sort of systematic algorithm being run here. But either way, it's interesting, and we'll talk about where each team is at, as well as what I would like to see in particular from the Lions, uh, and go from there. So, number one overall pick going for the Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward at quarterback. Yeah, I think it's probably the right move for them. Will Levis is not him. As the kids say, he is not him. He's very bad actually. So whether Cam Ward is good or bad, I think at the very least you're worth a shot. You only get the number one overall pick so many times. Cam Ward is, he would not necessarily be a first round quarterback last year comparatively to that class, which, we'll see how that class ends up as the years go by. But at the very least, yeah, Tennessee needs it. And you got Travis Hunter going to the Browns. It's the question with him is what position he's going to play because he wants to play both. And to me, that's not going to work. You're going to play one or you're going to play the other. And in a sense, I kind of feel like he would fit right in with Cleveland because he can be a little bit of a drama machine potentially. So, yeah, he might fit right in. You got the Giants taking Abdul Carter. Yeah, I mean, maybe you see them go for a quarterback here. Like if the Titans don't go for Cam Ward, I could see them trying to take him. Yeah, it's you got Russ Wilson and and what's his name? Oh my gosh, Jameis Winston, which not great. It's not great, but maybe they just end up saying, you know what, we'll just take the best player. The quarterback class not very good. Just take best player. Understood. I would get it. Patriots going O line with Will Campbell. Yeah, protect your young quarterback. I think that would be the right move for them. Jaguars going Mason Graham out of Michigan, defensive line. Yeah, they're just kind of in a weird spot. I would probably go offensive line if that's an option, but yeah. And then this one. This one would just be kind of funny because it would be just like the Raiders. To go Ashton Janty at number 6 overall, I think would be a huge mistake, which is exactly why I think the Raiders would probably do it. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. There's been a lot of times of running backs in the first round. Saquon Barkley, one of them. They can work out. Ashton Janty, I don't think this would work out for Vegas for a number of reasons. Number one, I don't think their offensive line is very good. And number two, it's the Raiders. Basically my fear with any skill position player drafted by the Raiders is, oh, okay, this guy's going to commit some embarrassing crime in the next, 2 to 3 weeks. So, yeah, that's my take on that. Jets going offensive tackle, Armand Membo. Yeah, I get it. Justin Fields is your quarterback. You might want to secure that offensive line, give him a best shot at success. I don't think he's a good quarterback, but that's that. Panthers going with the linebacker / edge Jalen Walker. It's a Georgia defensive player. Sounds like a good deal to me. Bryce Young showed a little bit of growth and development near the end there, so maybe they figure they draft based on a big position of need, fix that defense potentially. Yeah, they're a team that needs a lot, so not sure that Jalen Walker would fix all their issues. This one will be interesting. Shedeur Sanders to the Saints. Yeah, they're in desperate need of a quarterback because Derek Carr might not be playing football, and Spencer Rattler is awful. I remember people trying to convince themselves Spencer Rattler might be good, and I was like, no, he's never been good. Like at the college level, he was never good. So yeah, Shedeur Sanders, I think he would fit right in. I think he would fit right into the QB carousel nonsense. Because I don't think he's gonna be that amazing. I think he was better than some people are giving him. Like some people are saying he's not a first round quarterback. I don't know that I agree with that, but he was not in a great situation in Colorado, and he made probably the best of a bad situation. Uh, but if you put him in the situation in New Orleans, that I don't think will be great. Although he will already have Chris Olave. You got Tyler Warren, tight end, going to the Bears. Yeah, I get it. Weapon for Caleb Williams. I think that'd be a solid pick. Add to that room for Ben Johnson as well. Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle, going to the 49ers. Yeah, again, I mean, you're probably thinking about replacing Trent Williams because he's going to be retiring pretty soon. Tetaroya McMillan, out of Arizona, going to the Cowboys. That would be the exact pick that I would expect, and it would be awful because the Cowboys are just a total mess. If I would think it's hysterical if they draft a wide receiver because that would be exactly what they would do. They draft some skill position player, and it would ultimately not lead to any sort of success because their offensive line is awful. Their defensive line, I guess you have Micah Parsons, who's something of the defensive line, but they're a total mess. They need to get rid of Dak. They need to just start all over, but they're not going to do that. So they'll go ahead and get a skill position player to keep them as mid as possible. This one's kind of interesting. Will Johnson going to the Dolphins? I dig it. I don't know any further comment on that. I kind of dig it. Followed by Colston Loveland to the Colts. That I don't dig. That I do not dig. The Colts are without a quarterback. I don't think that the problem with Anthony Richardson is that he doesn't have enough weapons. I think the problem is that he's Anthony Richardson. So it'd be an interesting move, but I think it would kind of suck for Loveland because I think he's a pretty good tight end. And that would not be the best spot to be in. Michael Williams going to the Atlanta Falcons. That'd be kind of cool, staying in Georgia. Yeah, I think it'd be a nice fit for them. Help boost that defense. If Michael Penix Jr. can be the guy that he was in Washington, but in Atlanta, then you might have something. But securing that defense, I think it's a good move. Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M going to the Cards. Again, I think they're kind of in a weird spot. It's always a good idea to draft an edge guy as far as I'm concerned. So good move for them. They got Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. The question is really, is Kyler Murray that guy? And every year that goes by where they don't have success just errs on the side of no. Then you got J.Day Baron going to the Cincinnati Bengals. That's interesting. I mean, okay. I guess I get it. That boosts their defense. Their defense was not very good last year. So, yeah, definitely want to go to the defensive side, but I don't know that I'd want to go secondary. I'd probably want to go defensive line. Again, not my decision. Matthew Golden going to the Seahawks. Who is their quarterback? Sam Darnold. Okay. I think this would make sense given they got rid of, oh my gosh, what's his name? Oh my gosh, what is his name? DK Metcalf. I think it would make sense, help bolster the wide receiver room that you made worse by getting rid of Metcalf there. Golden and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think that could be actually a pretty scary duo. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind the move. Jahad Campbell going to the Buccaneers, linebacker out of Alabama. Yeah, solid move. I like Bucs are fine. I think they need to, boost the defense maybe a little bit. Maybe they could probably benefit from adding for the wide receiver. I think if Matthew Golden is available, I think it would be a nice pick for them. But yeah, Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina, the running back, going to Denver. I mean, going for offense, I get. Not sure if he's the guy, like if running back is the position specifically. But okay, I understand it. Walter Nolan, defensive line, going to the Steelers. I would probably lean towards offense for the Steelers, but again, that's just me. Mike Green, the edge, going to the Chargers. Again, I'd probably think about a wide receiver. That wide receiver room is pretty limited with just Ladd McConkey and friends. So yeah, I'd think about wide receiver. Wide receiver. Derek Harmon going to the Packers. Now that would just be terrible because that would be two former Michigan State Spartans playing for the Packers. Then I'd have to deal with Derek Harmon and Jaden Reed on the Packers. I mean, as far as the move goes, yeah, I think it'd be the right move for the Pack to help boost the defense. But frankly, they would also benefit, I think, from adding to the offense a little bit. Maybe offensive line to protect Jordan Love a little bit. Either way, the Malachi Starks going to the Vikings, safety out of Georgia. It's all right, I guess. I don't. Yeah, sure. Boost the defense, boost the secondary. Fair enough. Josh Simmons, offensive line, going to Ohio State, going to the Texans. Yeah, I think that would be the right move. They definitely need to boost their offensive line. Gray Zabel, offensive line, going to the Rams. Similar deal. Need to boost that offensive line. Donovan Ezuraku, going to the Ravens. Okay. I could get down with that move. I could. I mean, Baltimore always seems to have really good defenses, so yeah, I think it'd be a solid move. Lions take an offensive line according to this mock. Tyler Booker. I would be okay with that move. I think either way, the Lions need to go for a move in the trenches. Personally, I'd like to see somebody on. I probably prefer somebody on the defensive line, but if not somebody on the defensive line, I'll take offensive line. Defense obviously was beat the heck up. Who knows how some of those guys are going to come back from injury. I'd like to have a little bit more depth at the position. I'd like to have a little bit more just bodies even. I would take defensive line, but obviously offensive line, I'm not going to get mad at it. James Pierce Jr. going to the Commanders. Edge rusher makes sense. Boost that defense. The defense for the Commanders was not very good. So yeah, go defensive line. Kenneth Grant, defensive line, going to the Bills. Similar deal. Not a great defense last year for the Bills. Need to boost that. Josh Connerly Jr., offensive tackle, going to the Chiefs. See, this would be a time where if I'm the Chiefs, I would go another wide receiver. I mean, like, all you got is what's his name? The guy out of Texas whose name escapes me. Xavier Worthy. And he really didn't. He needed. There needed to be a little bit more than just him out there. I'll just say that. So yeah, I'd probably go wide receiver, but who knows what kind of wide receivers you're even going to get at that point. And then finally, the Eagles going with Nick Scorton, the edge out of Texas A&M. Yeah, I mean the Eagles are reigning Super Bowl champs. As far as I'm concerned, they can't really go wrong with who they decide to draft there. So overall, I think that was a pretty interesting draft or mock draft. I don't disagree with any of those in principle. I would say in general, like I said with the Lions, I want to see somebody on the trenches, whether that's offensive line or defensive line. Both of those, I would be satisfied with. And I'm thinking about position because I trust that Brad Holmes will find the right guy as far as a draft because he's pretty much done that. Even if you want to say Terrion Arnold might be a miss, I'm not totally convinced that he is. It's only been a year, and also I think he was a little partially. It was trial by fire. He didn't have much of a defensive line out there, and frankly, he didn't have that much of a secondary even near the end there. Yeah, I think that was a pretty good mock draft. We'll see what ends up happening because a lot of these mock drafts, maybe the first couple of picks they get right, but by the time you get to like pick 11 or 12, it's like it's just fugazi. You're just making it up. Hi, it's me again. If you enjoyed what you just saw, hit the like and subscribe button. We do live shows every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there.